have taken some cup scalps down the years. In 1978, they went to the semi-finals. They beat Norwich in the third round. Peter Kitchen, the goal.
Against Chelsea, and first on the scene yesterday were second division Orient. Phil Hoadley is their skipper. They're a club that prides itself on producing its own players with the occasional careful buy when it's necessary. So these are the O's from East London. Chelsea, meanwhile, with Ray Wilkins leading them out, have also become masters at producing their own men, and it's a policy that's beginning to pay off for them. So there go the men of Chelsea at last into the view of the 25,000 crowd.
Orient's Brisbane Road ground is buzzing with excitement, an all-ticket crowd, and the Orient faithful amongst them hoping for a repeat of that day in 1972 when Orient beat Chelsea 3-2 here in a fifth-round FA Cup tie. And the man who scored an important goal that day for Orient is out there again. It was Phil Hoadley. His 30-yard shot helped to sink Chelsea. He's a good, consistent defender who, as a boy, in fact, was first spotted by Chelsea. The goalkeeper he beat that day was Peter Bonetti, and he's in goal for Chelsea again today. So let's first of all now check on the two teams. Orient, first of all, they had to make a late decision. Peter Bennett has recovered from a leg injury and plays after missing 2 games. 17-year-old Kevin Godfrey continues at number 7 in the absence of the injured John Chidozie, and quite a test that's going to be for him. Meanwhile, Chelsea, they've had a bad morning. Defender Steve Wicks is reported with flu. He's got a temperature of 103, so he's out. Graham Wilkins comes in at number 3. Ron Harris moves to number 6. But getting up to date with 2 informed goal scorers, Peter Kitchen, bought for £40,000 last summer from Doncaster, 4 out of 5 cup goals for Orient this season, 19 in all. And Clive Walker of Chelsea, who scored in both Chelsea Cup wins against Liverpool and against Burnley. The referee today is Derek Nibbard. He comes from Christchurch in Dorset. And now we're just about ready for the start. So Chelsea get us away. Attacking the goal to our right with a proud goal-scoring record of having got 13 in their last 3. Although in fairness they've conceded a few as well. They conceded at least 2 in their last 7 games. Here needing all their resolve against a lively Orient side, but it's Chelsea with Gary Locke making that first opening move. And a shot there by Tommy Langley going straight into the arms of John Jackson. Oh, and behind that Jackson goal, there's trouble there. The boarding has collapsed in the first minute of the game, and there are going to be injuries and problems there, and a holding up of the game without any doubt at all by Derek Nibbard. I would have thought there's no way that goal could continue. And there are going to be a wall collapse there. The play going on at the other end as the ball goes back to Peter Bonetti. And there's no way the game can continue. And in fact, there's trouble all around this ground. There are going to be some bad injuries there. It was a surging crowd that came down within the first seconds of the game when John Jackson took that shot from Tommy Langley. A wall was collapsed within seconds. And now I think the delay is going to be a long one. That's the problem. There are people on the pitch. I've seen girls out there crying with the shock of it all. And in fact, down on 2 sides of the ground, not only behind the goal, but alongside the main stand here, there's been a collapse there as well. Right beneath our television gantry. The Orient chairman having transferred one youngster who was caught up in that bit of trouble when the walls collapsed, delivering a couple of the unfortunates to the safer end of the field. So the crowd are off the pitch. It's going to be a drop ball on the centre line. We've had a delay of something like 5 to 6 minutes. And there's still a lot of work being done behind that John Jackson goal. But away we go again now. Here's Joe Mayo on the ball for Orient. Tony Grealish. And Roffey, number 3. That one, and here's Langley. And Finalists very nearly got in there, and that was danger. You can see the crowd toppling down once more behind that Chelsea goal, that Orient goal. But a good run by Langley after Gray had missed it, and the cross in, and a tremendous amount of ground covered by Finalists. But Hoadley and Jackson were there to prevent the number 7 turning it in. Good ball there, played for Britain. Lock. And he's gone through Mayo and kicking his ball down. It's a free kick. Diving in between those 2 Orient front men who'd come back to help. Giving away the free kick on the edge of the Orient box. So Orient form a 4-man wall. John Jackson putting that wall in line, just 3 in the wall now. Roffey's moved away. And Wilkins, Swain and Britton are going to be behind it. It's Wilkins who curls it, and Jackson fisting it away. Lock turning it in. And now Walker. And just past that far post. Well, Jackson in action twice there. First when Wilkins slipped in that little free kick and he had to get away and dive out. And then when Clive Walker, and I'm not at all sure that John Jackson didn't misjudge that, and that ball was perilously close to that far post. Ball back with Peter Vanetti. Kitchen. Bennett. And now Britton. Here's Wilkins. And now Walker. Oh, and that was allowed to go a long, long way before Hoadley got in there a fraction before Finalists and headed it over. In fact, it's a free kick, a push by the Chelsea number 7 on Phil Hoadley. But Walker's cross curling in. And it was Hoadley who had to take control of that situation. A free kick given to Orient, which Kevin Godfrey's going to take. Nigel Gray's come up for this one. And it might just get to him. Roffey trying to turn it back again. Wilkins getting it out. Grealish short again to Godfrey. Now will he take his man on? That's a nice play by him, and Kitchen tried hard to get in there and in fact got a corner for Orient, which Roffey will take. Joe Mayo in there, of course, but Nigel Gray, the big number 8, has come up as well. Peter Vanetti and the Chelsea defenders under a bit of pressure now, as Roffey will aim to curl this corner in. It's exactly what it does, and Vanetti caught it and lost it, and Mayo hit it way over the top. Well, Chelsea were in trouble from the moment that curling corner from Bill Roffey fell out of Peter Vanetti's hands. It was pulled back from the byline, and Joe Mayo contrived to whack it over the crossbar. And a break by Britton, and a free kick for the trip on Britton. Wilkins with the kick. Roy trying to get in there. And in the end, it's Fisher who kicks it away for the corner. Well, a man of Roy's size is always going to cause a few problems when he comes forward. He's only scored once so far this season. But he's up there looking for number 2 now. So Britain with the corner for Chelsea. Wilkins with his header. Finalists trying to get a shot in. And in the end, it was Mayo who got it away. Pitch in, and Locke dinking it back again. Britain. Was passed by him, and Roda got it away. But now Wilkins onside. The chip coming in, and the save by John Jackson once more. But that time the flag was up. There was an infringement in the 6-yard area. Lovely little chip in, though, by Ray Wilkins. Kitchen. Well, I make it 45 gone. Just a question of how much time Derek Nippard allowed for that delay at the start. Rocky. Troy. Half-time whistle. I know he's a classic first half, full of gutsy football, and the best chance probably falls to Joe Mayo just before half-time when he whacked the ball over the crossbar. Peter Bonetti really wouldn't have had a chance if he'd caught that the way that he really wanted to. As it is, Peter Bonetti's not beaten, and neither's been John Jackson. A goalless first half then in this 5th round FA Cup tie at Orient. Orient 0, Chelsea 0. We'll be back with the second half. Welcome back to Brisbane Road in East London. Orient 0, Chelsea 0 is the half-time score in this 5th round FA Cup tie. And Orient in the white strip now attacking the goal to our right. Kevin Godfrey. Orient, who've beaten Norwich and Blackburn in previous rounds. Chelsea having put out Liverpool and Burnley. Grealish going through. Kitchen, will they allow him to turn? He very nearly got a shot in there. The ball spinning viciously, and I think Gary Locke deciding that as it was spinning so viciously, it would be a good idea to belt the thing away for a corner rather than try to risk a back pass to Peter Bonetti. So Orient's corner, Bill Roffey with it. Opening minute of this second half. Ben Rode has come up. Nigel Gray has come up. And here's Wilkins for Chelsea. Grealish. 2 tigerish number 4s there. Grealish and Ian Britton of Chelsea. And in fact, Britton just a little too tigerish, conceding a free kick. Which Roffey will swing once more into that Chelsea penalty area. Oh, Kitchen. Now Bennett. A chance of a shot maybe. Kitchen turning it in. No, disallowed. There'd been an infringement there. I suspect it was a handball as Mayo played it on for Kitchen. Some quick into passing there, but I think there was probably a handball in there as well. And Kitchen rattling the ball wide of Bonetti, only to find it disallowed. Well, he's got past Wilkins, supported by Fisher. Fisher again. Played on once more for Godfrey. Can he whip it over now? Well, there's the ball for Kitchen. Now can he turn? No, not with Harris there. Defended well, and then in point of fact, Ray Wilkins got a little bit in his way, so Orient can keep it going now as it comes back to Roda. with their supporters now getting behind them. Fisher turning it in again for Mayo. Played back again for Glenn Roeder. That's a good shot, and Benetti right behind it. Kitchen. And Wilkins very delicately taking it off the feet of his opposite number and finding Langley. And now through for Finniston into the side netting. Started when Wilkins beat Grealish in midfield. Langley playing a part. Finniston looking for that yard of space, getting it, but putting it into the side netting. Block for Chelsea. Langley. Britton. Walker. And Roeder. Oh, what a lovely ball by Roeder now for Godfrey. Graham Wilkins is after him. Still with young Kevin Godfrey. Hit across there. Oh, and Kitchen had a chance there, but I think he may have been offside, and indeed he was. Great ball there that sent young Kevin Godfrey on his way. Kitchen was waiting for it in the middle, didn't connect properly, in any case was offside. There's a broken wall and a few broken dreams, really. Anybody coming here expecting a really rumbustious classic cup tie, because it really hasn't been that yet. Now Grealish just dinking that ball in. Gary Locke getting up well on that occasion. Hoadley was right in there hoping for a repeat of 1972 when he got a scorching 30-yard goal. Gray coming off Langley. Orient throw. On my watch, about 12 minutes. Harris there first. And away goes Walker. Britton taking on Fisher. Curled in again there. Walker's header, and he'll be disappointed with that. Scurrying little character, Ian Britton had made a lot of ground, had curled in a good cross. Walker, in fact, was in a good position there. He just glanced off his head. He didn't quite get enough firmness on it. Locke. Swain. Walker. That time Hoadley was in there once more. Here's Droy. What about that? What about that? For Locke with Swain outside him. Grealish's touch. Kitchen's header. Straight to Britton. A long, long shot. Oh, and a brilliant save! Ian Britton at 5'5", the smallest man on the field. What a shot. And what a save. So a corner for Chelsea with 4 to go. And Hoadley up again to nod it away for another Chelsea corner. Britton. And now it's a Chelsea throw. You can only imagine how difficult that must have been for John Jackson, who really, neither goalkeepers really had so much to do in this game. But he was really equal to that one in superb style. Harris with it fun, and that won't trouble John Jackson. Such a great cheerful character. There's Ron Harris, is John Jackson. So many good seasons with Crystal Palace. 34 years old, and he won't have made many better saves than that. And it's all over. It goes to a replay at Stamford Bridge on Monday week. Cup tie that never really quite lived up to its billing. it could so easily have all swung Chelsea's way right at the end with that tremendous shot by the number 4 there, Ian Britton. Really superbly saved by John Jackson, the Orient keeper. Well, it'll be in another big gate for Chelsea, with a share of the take for Orient when they meet again at Stamford Bridge in what is sure to be in front of a very big crowd, and I hope that crowd on that particular occasion gets slightly better value than maybe we got here today. All a little too tense maybe, a little too frantic, and in the end we finish absolutely goalless. A final scoreline then at Brisbane Road, Orient 0, Chelsea 0.
So it's a replay on Monday week. And after the game we talked about that amazing save by the Orient keeper John Jackson and about those collapsing walls. First to the managers, Jimmy Bloomfield of Orient and Ken Shellito of Chelsea. And first, I spoke to Jimmy Bloomfield. Jimmy Bloomfield, your reaction to that 0-0 draw?
Well, I think that it'd have been a better game if there'd have been goals. Obviously, I thought we'd done most of the attacking, but unfortunately we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. We got it in the net once. I thought that the referee gave Peter Kitchen offside, but apparently he gave a handball. And Joe Mayo said that the ball hit him on the chest, so it was one of those type of decisions.
Well, what you have to remember is that it's handball right to the top of the arm. Watch Joe Mayo, number 9 there. There's the ball hitting him. I would say from that angle, it looked to me as though referee Derek Nippard gave exactly the right decision and disallowed that Orient goal. The referee was right. How big a problem was it for you when Steve Wicks went down with flu?
Well, you haven't got a problem with Ron Harris. I mean, you can play Ron anywhere, and within an hour, you have a little chat with him and say, well, you're playing there, so fine. He's a great professional, he's got no problems.
You must have thought that it was won in that fraction of a second when the ball left Ian Britton's boot there towards the end.
Yes, I did. I thought that was a goal. No, he made a tremendous save, didn't he? I thought he went very late. I thought he missed it. And, you know, good shot, good save, and the old cliche corner.
Jim, how did you see that one?
Well,
I mean, did you feel it was on the way to the net?
Well, I thought it was a wonderful shot. I'd have been surprised if it had beat John, because he's been playing fantastically well this season. And it seems to be that all great goalkeepers can manage to get that extra 6 or 4 inches when it's needed to just tip the ball over the post. And that's what John done. I thought it was a fantastic save, but I expected him to save it.
A manager's confidence in his goalkeeper. And indeed, it was a moment to savour in the match, and to be honest, there were few of them. It was that save by John Jackson from Ian Britton in the closing minutes. First, the view of Ian Britton. Did he really think he'd got that winner for Chelsea?
Yeah, I did, until I saw John's hand count and tip over the bar.
Were you surprised he got up that well?
I thought he left it a bit late, but he just didn't get his fingertips to it.
Because you caught it really well, Ian.
Yeah, it was going well, but it was dipping a lot. Might even get the goal save of the season.
Could easily have been the goal of the season, I think, if it had gone in.
Oh, wouldn't have been a bad surprise. I ain't scored for a while.
Yeah. So what do you say to him now?
Good save.
John, what about it? Ian was suggesting that you might have left it a little bit late.
Well, funny, I was slipping a little bit as I was going across. And I was a bit fortunate because it started to come back at me. And, you know, I was lucky in that sense it came back into me rather than...
What, the little bit of dip that Ian was talking
about?
Yeah,
that's it. It was in it.
But what about those collapsing? Clearly those walls collapsing was a bad start to the afternoon, Brian. Have you yet been able to discover what caused it?
Well, it's very difficult, Brian, but we've had a series of phone calls during the week from Chelsea supporters, which we've tended to ignore, obviously, as just a silly element, threatening that they were going to push walls down. And we had one particular phone call which claimed to be the leader of the shed at Chelsea, and that if we lost, they would destroy the ground completely. So we just, of course, ignored them and just treated it as people being silly. But the extraordinary thing is that we've had a capacity here of 24-4 against Spurs, and other than the odd sort of people being turned out, no problems at all. And yet whenever Chelsea came, even when there was a gate here of just over 11, they managed to do damage, and they managed to do it again. I think the Department of Environment, who advised us basically that you don't have to give tickets to Chelsea, were trying to sell us something, that trying to play the game fair as we did. We gave them tickets, plenty of tickets, and of course this has happened.
Yeah, so you don't think it was just the enthusiasm of the moment and purely accidental?
No, definitely not the enthusiasm of the moment. No, definitely not, because people were watching, and I've spoken to several people that were on the various terraces, and I looked myself, even after the accident happened, the people at the back were still pushing, not just sort of fawning. They weren't fawning, they were pushing. In fact, the police made their way into the crowds afterwards to stop them pushing. And the barriers had been worked on during the hour or so before the game when they were there. They'd been picked at and worked at. And I think John Jackson saw when he turned, he told me before that after the accident he turned and saw 3 people trying to lift one of the steel pieces of the barrier to twist it round their heads and advise the police about this.
Really?
So of course it was an accident. I think possibly the frost getting into the walls and that sort of thing and the cold weather didn't help. But I think if you built steel boxes for these people, they'd come along with oxyacetylene lamps. You know, I don't know how you're going to stop them.
Have you spoken to the Chelsea officials about that?
Well, there's little they can do. I mean, fortunately we don't have this problem, but if our supporters go away and do this sort of thing, which they haven't, and the odd one that's silly and jumps over walls, we talk to them about it, but they're such a vast club and such a vast crowd, I don't think they can do very much about it.
What was the injury list? How many people were injured?
I think 8 were taken to hospital, but I only think that about 2 or 3 were sort of badly hurt with the odd break or so. I think we're very, very lucky. I thought the police were superb, St John's ambulance. I thought the referee was brilliant, the way he kept everything cool, and I think the game started in about 3 to 4 minutes.
What's the cost of it to Orient now?
Frankly, Brian, we haven't calculated, and to be honest, I don't care what it costs. The thing that concerns me most are the people who have been hurt, and I can only apologise to them on behalf of everybody here and to their family and kinfolk and say we're sorry about it, and we hope it'll never happen again.
Well, today the Chelsea chairman, Mr. Brian Mears, has reacted sharply to those accusations. He's astonished that those threatening phone calls were made in midweek, but more so that Chelsea were not informed about them until after the game. And did Orient inform the police, he asked. And it seems odd, continued Mr. Mears, that Chelsea supporters should want to injure their own fellow supporters. It was not hooliganism, he claims. It was the normal surge forward that you get at any game. Well, whatever it was sad that such a thing should happen to Orient, one of the league's friendliest.
First Division Chelsea had a vibrant young team, including the likes of Ray Wilkins in midfield. Only veteran goalkeeper Peter Bonetti and defender Ron Chopper Harris had any vast experience. After the goalless draw at Brisbane Road, Orient had been written off for this one, but it was to be a memorable night for everyone connected with the club, especially their number 10, Peter Kitchen. Commentator is Tony Jones.
Here's Rhoda. Away by Draw. Slipped there by Mayo. Grealish now to drive forward. And Peter Bonetti was at full stretch. Here's Godfrey. And he's delivered the cross, and it's Mayo's header, which is collected by the goalkeeper. John Mayo with goals in his last 3 league games. And that was a decent attempt. Harris. Like Bonetti, an FA Cup winner back in 1970. It's towards Walker. Good interception by Roffey. And Bill Roffey has put through his own goal. Chelsea in front, and it's so harsh on Orient, and particularly on Bill Roffey. Jackson was stranded. Chelsea won promotion at the end of last season. They drew here 1-1 with Orient. Now in this cup replay, they lead 1-0. Godfrey. Grealish also racing forward. Kitchen. Held up by Harris, and around drawing. Oh, magnificent! Peter Kitchen with the equalising goal. He maintains his record of scoring in every round this season. A goal against Norwich, 2 against Blackburn in the last round, and a crucial equaliser here at Stamford Bridge. Tremendous finish. But what a difference a goal makes. Here's Allan. And Bonetti had to be alert. Orient now playing with such confidence. This team have found so much sparkle, even though their league form at the moment is disappointing. They drew at Tottenham on Saturday, but they've now gone 6 league games without a win. Kitchen. Away from Harris, and Mayo arriving. Orient desperately close to going in front. Mayo, they're so brave and so determined. I don't know if he knows anything about it, though. Chelsea just can't cope with Peter Kitchen. Ray Wilkins. Now Walker, who's made such an impression this season. Wonderful save by Jackson. It was a magnificent hit by Clive Walker. Orient grateful to their goalkeeper. Britain so lively in the Chelsea midfield. Brilliantly done by Walker. Away from Fisher. And still Walker goes on. Jackson's handling impeccable. In this mood, Walker impossible to stop. Walker. This time he was denied by Fisher. The fullback at full stretch. Droy has made his way forward. Walker across to take the corner kick. And it's aimed towards Mickey Droy. Rhoda. Droy is struggling to get back. And Mayo is unmarked. Kitchen just ahead of him. Here's Kitchen. And Orient have taken the lead. From a goal behind now to lead 2-1 at Stamford Bridge. It could be one of the stories of the season in the FA Cup. Kitchen is loving this season. That's 5 now for him in the FA Cup. Totally unmarked, but another very good finish. Orient are looking for a third goal. Hacked away by Droy. Godfrey. Benetti eager to get the ball upfield. Chelsea desperate for that equaliser now. Droy's header on. Langley! Jackson was so brave. Out by Rhoda. Harris. So many blue shirts around that Orient penalty area. Droy up. Anywhere will do. Orient now desperate to hang on, but they've worked so hard for this. There's an offside flag against Finiston. Wilkins. Droy in unfamiliar territory. Chelsea have the corner kick. Last few seconds of the game. It's all or nothing now. In by Ray Wilkins. And it's too close to the goalkeeper. Jackson holds on. And could Orient now be on their way to the 6th round? And that's it. It's a terrific win for 2nd Division Orient, who've come from behind here to beat Chelsea. 2 goals for Peter Kitchen, who's scored in every round so far. They've reached the 6th round for the 4th time in their history, and now they go to Ayresome Park to take on 1st Division Middlesbrough. At Stamford Bridge, it's finished Chelsea 1, Orient 2.
To pee in those days, and there was a famous night against Middlesbrough in the quarter-finals when first Kitchen, who got a beauty, and then Joe Mayo who'd had a spell with West Bromwich, secured a 2-1 win for the O's.
The tense moments before the big match as Arsenal prepare to face Orient in the semi-finals. Welcome to this FA Cup semi-final edition of the big match as we bring you the action that counted in the tie between Arsenal and Orient at Stamford Bridge yesterday. And after we've seen that action together, we shall go behind the scenes to get the views of the players. But today we have much more besides. As usual, we should be looking through your letters the day, believe it or not, that a happy player kissed a referee in Australia. And what about that remarkable goal last week by Liverpool's Ray Kennedy? But did he really mean to score it? Well, he answers that today for us. And the best 12 goals seen on the big match this season as a prelude to our Golden Goals competition starting next week. But first, it's semi-final action. You've seen the teams leave their dressing rooms for the colourful scenes outside, banners everywhere, a lot relating to Orient's Peter Kitchen. Kitchen fries rice, that's Arsenal's Pat. Arsenal's answer? Kitchen's bare, because Willie's there. That's Willie Young, and it does seem that Willie Young has become quite a cult figure. Murder of the Orient Express, and indeed the Pearly King and Queen were there to enjoy it all. Here's the Arsenal team then. No problems this week for manager Terry Neal. With Alan Sunderland out through injury, Graham Rix continues in the number 8 shirt. Healthy competition for places here. 14 goals in 4 FA Cup ties this season so far from Arsenal. Orient's scoring rate has not been nearly so impressive, but they've beaten 3 First Division sides on their way here. Now manager Jimmy Bloomfield is forced to make changes. David Payne is out with hamstring, and his late change was to bring Derek Clark into the number 7 shirt in place of young Kevin Godfrey. But it's a fairy tale for Orient. They've got this far through the goals of Peter Kitchen. He scored in every round. They've got this far on the saves of keeper John Jackson, 34 years old, 17 years a professional. For Arsenal, it's been a cup run where the youngsters have blossomed. Graham Rix has been one of them. And without doubt, another has been Liam Brady, who's been a match winner for them in midfield. The referee is Pat Partridge from Durham. He's in because Ken Burns of Stourbridge has got flu. He only heard about his appointment late on Thursday night, and he was due to be a linesman today in the Northern League. But nobody in the 49,000 crowd more tense than the managers and the coaches. Don Howe of Arsenal on the left there with the manager Terry Neal. And for Orient, great to see Jimmy Bloomfield there again after his serious operation. Peter Angel alongside him. But before the action, an unexpected delay.
What an amazing thing here at Stamford Bridge. We've got a delay to the start of the Cup semi-final because this fella is going to... No, he decided against it. But who on earth brings a dog to a game like this? Poor old chap. But what it also means is that there's a delay, and goodness knows the nerves are twanging a little bit out there amongst the players. Well, he's been caught at last, and let's hope well looked after. But now it looks as though we might be down to business, and Arsenal get us away in their change strip of yellow, with blue shorts attacking the goal to our left. Orient also changing to a strip of all red. Orient, vast underdogs, the poor boys who've made it rich, who are in danger of getting into the 3rd division. Such is their plight in the league, but in the cup it's been a different story. Here's McDonald though, and a good swift challenge by Hoadley. Mayo trying to get in before O'Leary, and a bit of order in that Orient defence as John Jackson plays it short here and gives Glenn Roeder the touch. So important that Orient make the right sort of start. The longer it goes on with them holding Arsenal at bay, the better their chances will be. Mayo right in there. Bennett. Coffey. And Rice. Now Brady. Well, as Bennett again, turning the ball back towards Kitchen. Roffey. It's a good cross towards Mayo. There's Mayo's header, but into the arms of Jennings. Mayo allowed a little bit of room there, and he got a header on target. Stapleton. Rice. Arsenal really will want to make their presence felt as early as they can to settle their nerves as well. McDonald turning it in, and Stapleton so close, and Ricks wildly wide. Well, Stapleton was within a whisker of getting the first goal there. What a good piece of running here by McDonald, whipping that ball over before Hoadley could do anything. Just too fast, though, for Stapleton, and Ricks wildly over. Roffey, Hudson. Brady trying to get it back, but a good challenge by Grealish. Well, off the referee again, and he was a little lucky, but just look at the way Hudson's after him. It was a foul in the end, but it certainly shows Hudson's intention of putting everything into this semi-final. Last time he was in a semi-final, of course, was 8 years ago for Chelsea, the Stamford Bridge club, but he didn't play in the final against Leeds. He was injured. Roda with the kick. Kitchen with the jump, but beaten there by O'Leary. Brady. The long ball this time. Roda there. Play on. It was a bad piece of judgment by Roda. The referee was right to play it on. Equally, it was a foul on Arsenal, and the free kick already taken by Liam Brady. Rice. It's a dangerous cross. Willie Young's right in there. What a good clearance by Bennett, but here's Price again. Oh, what a good save by Jackson. And Roffey can get that ball into touch. A super piece of goalkeeping by John Jackson. Great defence by Orient, but they're under pressure now. That was a good jump by Bennett. A nice little touch there for Price. And Willie Young. Oh, and he's hit the crossbar. Escape. Well, John Jackson so nearly was beaten there as Willie Young got in for that one that hit the crossbar. Now with Nelson. There's the cross again. Again Willie Young is there. David Price lifting that in there. Jackson falling for it, stretching and getting it. Well, a quarter now gone. The Arsenal bench with nothing to cheer as yet. Ricks. And Roffey away. Hudson. Ricks. Nelson. Graham Ricks again. And Yorkshire lad. Nicely played inside for Hudson. A touch for Stapleton, back towards McDonald. Oh, and it's an own goal off Roffey. What a tragedy for Orient. But it's a goal for Arsenal, and an own goal at that. Poor Bill Roffey, nothing he could do about it. Ricks, who played a big part in it. Hudson, who played a massive part in it. A lovely little one too. McDonald, it broke for him well. And look at that. Off Roffey, and there was nothing he could do. Arsenal 1, Orient 0. Own goal, 16 minutes gone. And a curious statistical point. I think Arsenal have only played one semi-final at Stamford Bridge, and that was in 1927 against Southampton, and then they won 2-1 and were helped by an own goal. Well, here's McDonald. Now here's Brady. And Roffey back to Jackson. is wretched luck for Orient. Young being harassed by Peter Bennett. Free kick to Arsenal. Well, my feeling was that the ball from McDonald was going wide in any case. It wouldn't have troubled Jackson, but he had no chance once that had hit Roffey. So McDonald and Hoadley, and the ball coming their way, except it'll be Gray and Stapleton going for it. Stapleton's header, McDonald's header, Stapleton playing it wide, and it'll be an Orient throw. Hudson, Brady, some nice delicate touches in the Arsenal midfield. We saw that in the lead up to that goal. But Mayo and now Ricks really played his part. Stapleton, nice little 1-2. Ricks coming through. A foul by Grealish on Ricks. A free kick to Arsenal. So Don Howe wants someone to come back a little bit. In fact, he wants David O'Leary back a bit. Now Ricks turning that ball in. Roeder getting it away. Here's McDonald with a cross. Oh, and it's another own goal. This time I think of Roeder. Although McDonald, I think, will claim it. Roeder looking absolutely as miserable as you can imagine there. Poor Glenn Roeder. Well, it really hasn't gone Orient's way, would you believe it? 2 own goals in the space of 3 minutes. Chipped in by Ricks. Nodded away again. Comes to McDonald. Well, in fact, it went off both Hoadley and Roeder. But if I know Malcolm McDonald, he's going to say that's mine. Not only that, it's my 22nd of the season. Arsenal 2 up, and you could say both own goals. Now Ricks. Ricks curling it in. Oh! And that very nearly went off Stapleton and behind Jackson again. Is coming from now, and there's plenty of it. Kitchen. That's an Orient throw. Roffey, Mayo doing his best to escape Willie Young. Young has done a very good marking job on him so far. Got a good left foot, Roffey. And he's crossed that in well towards Clark, who got the header on target, but again with not quite the power, Derek Clark. Cross came in well from Roffey there. Likes it on his left foot. Never really a great problem for Jennings. Oh, Rice with a mistake. Now, can Kitchen make something of it? Look how far Jennings has come out. In the end, in his excitement, Peter Kitchen couldn't keep it in play. Roffey with the throw. So a corner for Orient. So a corner. Here's Roffey with it. And Jennings fisting that off the head of Joe Mayo. Mayo in trouble again. Whether that was a right hook from Pat Jennings as He also connected with the Orient number 9 as well as the ball, but it was a dangerous in-swinging corner. It comes in there. Mayo going for it, Jennings going for it, and maybe there was just a bit of contact with Joe Mayo's head. So Tunji Banjo, only 17 years old, doing a bit of warming up. And Joe Mayo's okay. So Tunji Banjo goes back to the bench, and Bill Roffey gets ready to take the throw. And a long one it is. Willie Young up there again. Brady hacking it away. Bobby Fischer battling with Graham Rix. And here's Rix. Oh, what a good ball by Rix. And again, superb covering by Roda. Running into trouble. Brady, Price offside, offside. What a bad bit of keeping though for all that. Good run by Price. Kitchen finding Grealish. Well, that really was a quickly taken free kick, so quick that Joe Mayo didn't realise it had been taken, and in fact it's a throw to Arsenal. That's Tony Grealish. Hoadley, Clark. Now go for that, he says to Joe Mayo. Mayo hitting it in quickly, and Jennings. Mayo does patrol down those touchlines, and he does hit useful balls in quickly. But here's O'Leary. Not all the way, surely, no. He's only 20 years old, David O'Leary. It's hard to believe that. He seems to have become a fixture in the Arsenal side for quite a few seasons. Starting, of course, as a 17-year-old. McDonald. Gray. Clark. Nice touch, Gray. Might come for Clark again. Got that in to Peter Kitchen. That's interesting. Mayo's at the other side of it, and Jennings was there to grab it. First time we've really seen Orient spring into dangerous action. Clark finding Kitchen. A nice overhead here. Mayo waiting at the other side there, and Jennings gathered it. Roffey, Stapleton, now Brady. Just a little bit of acceleration there, taking him past Grealish. McDonald here, Stapleton there. Jackson didn't get to it, but the ball was over. A nice Arsenal move there, really using the width of the ground. Brady with the cross, McDonald at the far side, heading it down, and it was always a difficult one for the keeper, and in fact he didn't get there, but Stapleton did. If you're looking at his watch, we've had about a minute and a half of time added on, and there goes the half-time whistle. Arsenal 2 in the lead. Glenn Roder, I suppose if you're cruel, you have to say one of the own goals was his, the other one was Bill Roffey's, and both of them were dreadful bits of luck for Orient, although at the same time you have to say, in spite of the bad luck with those own goals, and in spite of the fighting spirit that Orient clearly have got, that the half-time score is the right one, that Arsenal have dominated that first half with some positive football, attacking, getting their defenders up there as well. And it's going to take an awful lot of pulling round now for Orient. A half-time score then in this FA Cup semi-final at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal 2, Orient 0. We'll be back with the second half. Pat Partridge, waiting to get the second half started now as we welcome you back to Stamford Bridge for this FA Cup semi-final, with Arsenal leading Orient by 2-0. Orient in the all-red strip about to kick off. And it's Peter Kitchen doing it for them. Back to Rhoda. Rice. Stapleton. Orient never been in a semi-final before. Brady's little touch almost putting Stapleton through. But Orient on their way here, having beaten Norwich, Blackburn, Chelsea and Middlesbrough. Arsenal in turn having accounted for Sheffield United, Wolves, Walsall and Wrexham. And here's Rhoda again on the ball, being hustled out of it though. MacDonald playing it now for Stapleton, number 3, no! Saved by John Jackson, and the ball now with Ricks. Played this time for Brady. In again, Rhoda away this time. Arsenal half thought there was a penalty, the referee would have none of that. And it certainly looked, as MacDonald laid that pass on for Stapleton, that it must be goal number 3 for Arsenal, except that Jackson was off his line superbly to make that save. Mayo. Bennett. Oh, Fisher got in well there. Ricks was really going for him. Mayo. Kitchen. A free kick for Orient. And Mayo not at all happy with the way that Sammy Nelson went for him. And there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on there between Mayo and Alan Hudson. Maybe it was Hudson who was going in there. This is the incident that accounted for it all. In fact, it was Sammy Nelson going high on Mayo. But a genuine attempt, I think, for both men to go for the ball. The referee is having a word with both Nelson and Mayo. And Orient get a free kick. 7, 11, 8 and 4 in the Arsenal wall. And Roffey... Well, the police. It's always good for a laugh, of course. Roffey, Grealish, Bennett. That'll come for Fisher. Kitchen after this one, being well shadowed by the Arsenal defence. MacDonald. Price. It's an Arsenal throw. Oh, and it puts MacDonald in the clear, except that Phil Hoadley was across brilliantly to stop him. But now MacDonald, and again Hoadley was there. While you see MacDonald, the hero though is Phil Hoadley. 2 tremendous pieces of defence there by Hoadley. First one coming up now as we wait for the corner. Got in there quickly, and as it goes on again, there he is again. And there they are again. So a corner which Hudson will take for Arsenal. Played short for Brady. Turning Grealish, one Irishman on another. Well, he came to another Irishman, Frank Stapleton. Instead it comes to Bill Roffey, born in Stepney. Kitchen. He's had little leeway this afternoon, Kitchen, and Jennings got there a fraction before Gray. One of the unsung Arsenal heroes, this fella, 22-year-old David Price. But he's had a really marvellous season for Arsenal. And here he is coming in again there, getting that header in. And getting another header in, just over the top that time. Good combination coming forward there for Arsenal with MacDonald involved. Price himself, of course, there, Stapleton. And over the top it goes. Gray waited, and Willie Young made the more positive mark there. Hoadley, who is playing brilliantly against MacDonald now. Willie Young getting in there, Kitching getting in there, going all the way, and David O'Leary getting back in the nick of time when it looked for the first time as though this ace goal scorer was going to get there and frighten Arsenal. So David O'Leary getting in the nick of the time when it looked as though Kitching was clear. And a free kick for Arsenal. Grealish having a slightly better spell at the moment, Orient. Grealish again. Bennett. Well, what about this though? 3 against 2. Stapleton, MacDonald's lurking as well. Still Stapleton, he's allowed to go a long way. Well, Jackson was superb. And Stapleton applauds him. But it's amazing how far the Irish number 10 was allowed to go for Arsenal. Until in the end he let fly and Jackson got it up and away. Ricks, the long one, Jackson touching that away before Willie Young could get in at the back there. So Hudson will take this corner. Perhaps flip it in towards the near post where Stapleton is. That's exactly what happened. And Willie Young back over his head. Too good at the moment for Orient. Ricks beaten Roppy there. What lovely skills by Ricks, and not a bad piece of keeping by John Jackson either. Tremendous prospect from Yorkshire, Graham Ricks. Lovely bit of skill there. And in the end it was no great problem for John Jackson, to be honest. Roffey. Nicely judged little lob there, but Mayo has headed it to Brady and gone on. And Arsenal getting snapping up so much that's loose. And here's Sammy Nelson, a long way through to Malcolm McDonald. He's onside and straight at Jackson again. A great bursting run by Sammy Nelson, went a long, long way. MacDonald going in there, aiming to put it wide of Jackson, but hitting it straight at the Orient keeper. Ricks wriggling all the way through. He's gone all the way. And that's number 3 for Graham Ricks. On the Arsenal bench as well as in the Arsenal goal. They're on their feet applauding him. Smiles are everywhere. Arsenal know they're now at Wembley for sure. What a run by Ricks and what a goal. Really brilliant stuff. A long, long wriggling run that finally took him clear of Bobby Fischer. A question mark against John Jackson, but there's the ball in the net. Arsenal 3, Orient 0, Graham Ricks. Says the whole Arsenal picture. There are the men rather, Don Howe and Terry Neal, who've achieved it all off the field. and there are the fans who are applauding it from the field. And Tanji Banjo, who came on, and in fact made his first appearance for Orient last week at Bolton when he came on as a substitute, 17 years old. Nigel Gray, who started more in a defensive position, was pushed forward in this second half. He's coming off. O'Leary having no nonsense. Hudson. All these Arsenal players looking for the ball and wanting it now. A little back heel for Brady. Oh, what a beautiful bit of skill by Brady. The pass for, look at O'Leary right up here now. The cross coming into the far side. Stapleton, not the header that was required. But the ball that went through to O'Leary was such a good one. The Arsenal defender was right in there. But it wasn't a particularly good header by Frank Stapleton. Played into a bit of space here for Roffey. Oh, he showed too much of that to Rice. Here's MacDonald. Here's 3 against 3. Rice again storming forward as a defender, finding Stapleton. Back for Rice again. All about a shot. MacDonald on the far side. Goal kick to Orient. Well, Harry Zussman, the Orient director on the left there, who favours enormous cigars. Just back from a holiday in the West Indies, and Brian Winston, his chairman, is still out there. Stapleton limping badly now. That's not going to matter, I think, now. Willie Young, Stapleton. MacDonald having a right old battle there with Glenn Roeder. Free kick to Arsenal. Or is it a drop ball, I would think? Yes, drop ball. Young. So the Arsenal fans have enjoyed seeing. And here he comes again. No, he's been stopped by the whistle. Well, there's no doubt about it. He really has become almost a cult figure at Highbury over the last few months, Willie Young. Banners about him. Mind you, he's done something to provoke that. He scored 1 or 2 very good goals, and got about a minute to go. 1 minute. Don Howe agrees. Free kick to Orient. Roffey with the free kick. Last seconds of this semi-final. Arsenal almost there. 3-0 up. Grealish with his shot, well wide of the Arsenal goal. In fact, Pat Jennings still has not had a serious shot to save. It must be the easiest afternoon, I would have thought, that a goalkeeper maybe has ever had in a cup semi-final. Final whistle. Arsenal are at Wembley. Winners by 3-0. Graham Wick's brilliant goal in the second half is the one that decided it. Pat Rice, the skipper, who takes his side to the stadium. Orient, who'd battled so well, but on the day simply weren't good enough. And really, that's the end of the story. But there's plenty of joy there amongst the Arsenal men, as indeed there should be. They came here as clear favourites, but favourites in the Cup have been beaten before. Not today, though, helped by those 2 own goals in the first 20 minutes, and they're all running now to the Arsenal end of the field to give their salute to the fans who really have supported them so well. David Price. A triumphant Arsenal side came to do a job and did it expertly and comfortably. An own goal by Roffey, an own goal by Roda, a second half goal by Ricks gives Arsenal that 3-0 victory. So a full-time score then, Arsenal 3, Orient 0.
So congratulations to Arsenal, bad luck for Orient, who'd done such a marvellous job getting this far, but on the day they simply weren't good enough, and that's where it all started and ended. But who should be credited with those 2 strange goals that put Arsenal on their way to Wembley? The newspapers today give both to Malcolm McDonald. I question that, particularly the first one. A little bit of play here by Alan Hudson, a nice little 1-2 play with Frank Stapleton, and it breaks nicely for Supermac here. But if you look now, that shot wasn't even going for a goal kick, it was probably going for a throw when it hit Bill Roffey and went into the back of the net. In my book, that's an own goal, Bill Roffey. The second one, that's got to go down to Malcolm McDonald, though. Graham Ricks, who had a brilliant game, a lovely left foot there. Roda heads this one away. Look at that for skill. And what about this for skill coming up? It hits Hoadley and it hits Roda in the face, but the skill alone, quite legitimately, that is a goal for Malcolm McDonald. But as we go to the Arsenal dressing room to meet the men who've now got through to Wembley, we meet first of all Malcolm McDonald and the scorer of that 3rd goal, Graham Ricks. Well, what does Supermac have to say about those first 2 goals?
As far as I'm concerned, I've got the first blow in at the goal, and if it hits somebody on the way, I've still had to make the move in the first place. So I'm fed up with people trying to take goals away, so I'm not saying anything.
No doubt about who got the 3rd one, though, Malcolm.
Oh, it's a great goal. Great goal. I suppose people are then going to fault John Jackson slightly, but it was a tremendous run by the fella. Great shot, and I thought on his overall performance and the performances that he's been putting in for so long now throughout the season, he deserves a goal like that. It's it's such an important time for us.
He's working well for you, Graham. But your first semi-final, did you feel a bit nervy before it?
Well, yeah, of course I did. I enjoyed it, but I was nervous.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your goal, then.
He passed me the ball, and I just ran towards goal and just kept diving in, I thought keeper should have had it, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it went under his body.
Yes. In fact, it was a very good all-round performance by Arsenal. You never really gave them, let them get into it at all.
Well, if you look at the fact that Pat Jennings didn't have one diving save to make, he had a couple of headers to pick up, and I think he was very busy taking goal kicks.
And here in the Arsenal dressing room, John Jackson has come across to say congratulations to the Arsenal side, and in fact they well deserve their win, John.
Pardon? Well, we weren't so happy with the first 2 goals, obviously. So, and that caused us a few problems. We had to change our way of playing and everything else. And we only played 2 at the back, and I thought our boys played well because they worked hard and tried hard. And as someone on the other side says, you can't give Arsenal 2 goals at that level and still play well.
I gather Malcolm McDonald is claiming both the goals.
He's what? He's joking. No.
What was your view of them?
Well, the first one would have gone for a throw-in, I think. I think if you look at it tomorrow, it was well wide, and it hit Bill Roffey near enough neck and chin high and went in the back of the net. I thought it was going to be the Chelsea game all over again. And then I'm afraid the second one was a similar sort of thing. I covered the shot and started to go for the the drive he had, and it hit Glenn in the face and went in at the near post. So it more or less killed us off, obviously.
Standing alongside you, the Arsenal skipper who will now be leading his side out at Wembley. What would you like to say to Pat Rice? What would you really like to say?
No, it's not printable, but no, obviously I just wish them all the very best because they're the London side, and it's a change to have someone out from other than the northern sides in the cup final, isn't it?
Yeah. The underdogs were never really in it.
Well, I think that as I've said in previous interviews and that, they haven't come across a side of our class yet, and even though we have got very young players in our team, they're not young players in the players' eyes, if you know what I mean, because like Chippy Brady's international, Frank Sable's international, Graham Rix is international, everyone is like international. So we knew how to combat this sweeper system.
Do you feel that you've got something to prove in a Wembley Cup final?
I've got to win there for a change. Just for a very pleasant change. I'd love to win there, Brian.
Is it to be this year?
No, Roger Thompson will have.
If it's not this year, Brian, then I don't deserve ever to go there as a winner.
Well, there was also a very nice human touch in that dressing room yesterday when Mr. Christy O'Leary, over from Dublin, was allowed in to congratulate his 19-year-old son, David. A prouder father you couldn't wish to meet, and he must have felt very emotional about the whole thing.
I was very much. Once it happened to me before at Wembley when Dave played for Ireland against England today, and at that stage was a very, very memorable for me. Tomorrow I go back to see will my other son, Pierce, go through to the final in Ireland.
In the Irish semi-final?
In the Irish semi-final. They play Waterford, Shamrock Rovers play Waterford. So it could be a double year for me as well.
There were a few tears a moment ago.
Don't believe he's a great lad. I can't say any more, honestly.
No. Well, you have every reason to be proud of him. You're not 20 until May the 2nd, I think, David. It could be cup final week and a real celebration.
I hope so. You know, I'm getting the lads to make me a Christmas cake before the cup final. And I hope I can round it off by winning the cup. You know, been very lucky. I'm playing in a great side and some great players in it. And I hope we can, you know, round off a great season by winning the cup. It'll be great to be there. I've been there once before and I really enjoy it. And I want to go back there as much as possible.
What did you feel about having Dad here today?
It's always great to have him over. He gives me a lot of abuse, like he slags me off a lot, but it's great to have him over.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see you both so happy anyhow.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So there we are then. It's Arsenal then who go on to Wembley, that final on May the 6th, and it's Orient who have to get back to that grinding business of getting enough points to stave off relegation to the 3rd Division. But for the animal lovers among you, let's just clear up what happened to the fellow we saw at the start of the programme. Believe it or not, he'd followed the football crowd some 2 miles from his home on the other side of the river in Battersea. By the end of the afternoon, he was back with his owner. A happy ending there. All right, now it's time for your letters. And first today, it's one from Liz Russell from Sydney, Australia. The programme, of course, goes regularly to Australia and right around the world, in fact. But she told us about an amazing incident in a match there involving a referee and a penalty. When it was awarded, one of the players, in fact, was so happy about the referee's decision that this is what he did. He comes up and plants the most beautiful kiss there on the referee's cheek there. I think that's the best argument I've seen yet for having women referees in our game. Phillip Cole, who comes from 18 Alresome Road, Fulham in London, he's 13 years old, tells me of a wonderful goal scored by Fulham's John Margerison in the game at Sunderland last week. Could he see it? Yes, he can, thanks to Tyne Tees Television, right away.
Mahoney. And now Mitchell moving forward to that one. I think they've both got in each other's way then. Margerison. It's a beauty! Oh, that really was a super.
Well, Fulham drew that one 2-2. And talking of great goals, and indeed of a great goal scorer, what about Allan Simonsen of Borussia Mnchengladbach? He missed the first leg of the European Cup semi-final against Liverpool a fortnight ago. But the news today is that he's back in training and will be in the squad at Anfield on Wednesday, probably as a sub. What a dangerous sub he is. Mönchengladbach, incidentally, in good form. Yesterday they beat Schalke 2-1. Simonsen has just received his award as European Footballer of the Year. And well, he deserved it when you consider the quality of some of his goals. Here are just 2 of them, and what you have to remember is that he is wearing the number 7 shirt. Brilliant skills they are from Allan Simonsen. But sadly, on the very day that he got that European Footballer of the Year award, he was injured in a game against Fortuna of Düsseldorf. In fact, within 2 minutes of the start of the game. As the ball is played down the wing here, he's just caught in the back there. You can see the hamstring. That was on March the 18th, and Allan Simonsen has not played since. But he could be at Anfield on Wednesday. All right, just before we go on, mention of a testimonial game on Tuesday night for Wimbledon's long-serving goalkeeper Dickie Guy. Wimbledon against Chelsea. That's at Wimbledon Tuesday night, 7:30. In fact, we can't get away from great goals today. Not that I suppose it matters a lot unless you happen to be a goalkeeper like Dickie Guy. And now we bring you the best 12 goals seen on the big match this season. An exhilarating prelude to our Golden Goals competition that starts here next week, when we shall have to cut them down to a final 6. Not easy. By next week, Granada viewers will be back with their own kick-off match programme. But for them, and indeed for the rest of us, all we've got to do today is sit back and enjoy some great goal scoring. Starting with goal 1. It's Nicky Chatterton scoring for Crystal Palace at Millwall on the opening day of the season.
Perrin. And now ball. Almost a 1-against-1 there, very deep, but if he can get past Hazel, it might open up. Now Hamilton's gone back to cover. Hilaire's gone racing through the middle. That was a good run by him, but it's with Wall instead. And there's Hilaire again, and Bourne, well-timed run again by Crystal Palace. Perrin's waiting there, Chatterton's waiting there, and that's another goal! 3-0 to Palace.
Goal 2. This is by Gordon Hill, scored for Manchester United, and it came in their match at Birmingham at St Andrews.
Roy. Could be here. Oh, and he just got it. Montgomery only just got his fingertips to that. That was a close shave. And here's Hill. And that's not close at all. That is right bang on the target.
Goal number 3 is down to Tommy Cassidy of Newcastle United, scored against West Ham United. This came at St James's Park.
Now Mitchell against the West Ham team seems quite easily robbed. And there's a great shot and a goal by Cassidy.
Goal 4 next. This is won by Bob Latchford, one of 4 he got, in fact, for Everton in a 5-1 win against Queen's Park Rangers.
On target. Oh, Masson not quite controlling that one. Andy King sending Dave Thomas on his way now. This could be more trouble for Rangers. Latchford in the middle, and David Jones has come up as well. Latchford with the header. Oh, a beautiful goal.
Goal number 5. This is scored by Steve Perrin when he was at Crystal Palace, and it came in the game away to Stoke City.
In then for Perrin. What a goal! Yes!
On to goal 6, Keith Burchin. It's one he got for Birmingham City. It was against Arsenal in the game at Highbury.
A little dummy, a shot that crashed, in fact, off Gary Pendry, and here's Trevor Francis. Oh, what a good bit of skill there by Francis. And a chase by Burchin. Jennings came half out of his goal, decided he had to go back. Oh, my word, what a goal by Burchin!
Goal 7. Martin Peters scored this one. He scored it for Norwich City, and it was in the home game against Liverpool.
Hughes again. Suggett is in there. Out to Neighbour. Nobody there for the far post cross yet. Now they're coming into the area. Gibbons, but is coming for... Oh, my goodness, Martin Peters.
Goal 8. Clive Walker of Chelsea, the moment Liverpool's Ray Clements would want to forget, and it came in the cup at Stamford Bridge.
Chelsea's throw. Clive Walker to Bill Garner. Really does look lively, Walker. Driving the ball, oh, goal! Clements puts his head in his hands, and Clive Walker has
scored for Chelsea.
Goal 9, Paul Randall. One from the West Country here. His goal for Bristol Rovers against Southampton. Again, it's in the cup.
Good turn by Aitken, but it's Pickering for Southampton. Day again. And Randall's through, and he scored. And that's the way to take advantage of a sudden slip in the Southampton defence.
Goal 10, we're back to London again. And Ray Wilkins of Chelsea, his goal against Manchester United at Stamford Bridge.
Finiston. Wilkins with a tremendous shot and a goal!
Goal 11, scored only a fortnight ago by Paul McGee for Queen's Park Rangers against Cup finalist Ipswich at Loftus Road.
Cross, and again a chance now, Rangers to have 3 against 3, with Bowles getting up fast, 4 against 3. McGee on the ball for them at the moment, he's gone past one, he's going all the way, and a beautiful goal! Paul McGee!
And finally, goal 12, scored only last week by Ray Kennedy of Liverpool, and it came in the game against Aston Villa at Villa Park.
And Dalglish, the scorer of 2 goals. Setting up a break here for Kennedy. 2 against 3. Kennedy trying to chip him, and he's done it!
So those then are the top 12. What a collection. Next week on the big match, the competition really starts when we reduce them to the final 6. But what about that Ray Kennedy goal? So many letters this week asking if he really meant it, or did he intend it to be a pass? Queries from, amongst others, G.N. Bell of 56 Mandeville, Stevenage in Hertfordshire, and to Michael Barrow of 23 Sussex Close in Exeter, and 17-year-old Michael Brooker of 244 Langley Road, Langley in Berkshire. Well, we asked Ray Kennedy himself, and he told us, no, I didn't mean it as a shot. As I went towards the Villa penalty area, I could see that David Johnson was coming up fast on the right. I meant it as a pass to him. It bobbled, and there it was, said honest Ray. But the reason he said I was so pleased about it afterwards was that I'd beaten my old Arsenal mate, Jimmy Rimmer, in the Villa goal. So there it is, mystery solved, and there it is, another cup weekend is over. We know it's Arsenal against Ipswich now at Wembley on May 6, which you can, of course, see live on ITV. But there's more sport live on ITV tonight. The exciting closing stages of the US Masters Golf Tournament. The world's best players live on ITV from America at 10:30 tonight. Well, at Stamford Bridge yesterday, a day to remember for Arsenal fans, and I suggest one not to be forgotten by Orient, who did so well to get so far. But yesterday, without question, it was Arsenal's day.
Graham Ricks again, and Yorkshire lad, nicely played inside for Hudson. A touch for Stavelland, back towards MacDonald. Oh, and it's an own goal off Brophy. Now Ricks turning that ball in, Rhoda getting it away. Here's MacDonald with a cross. Oh, and it's another own goal. Ricks wriggling all the